What's up, adventurers? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, The Green Knight. This is my co-host, Bartholomew. Tonight, we're diving into r/Neckbeard stories. That's right, going back to our roots. And Bartholomew was able to find a story that's a part of a series. Currently, there's only 3 parts, but I haven't really read them. There could end up being way more. So hopefully, this turns into an awesome series. I haven't read this before. I kind of gave it a cursory glance to see if it was okay for you guys. But as it stands, I have no idea what's going to happen. So, obligatory disclaimer. Neckbeards are icky and gross, and they do icky and gross things. And if that can be too much for you, then feel free to come back to another video. That being said, let's dive right into some r/Neckbeard stories cringe. How my childhood bestie became a neckbeard nightmare. Part 1. I've been on a binge of neckbeard YouTube videos, and I've finally decided to throw my hat into the ring. It's a big ring, OP. The story has a lot to it and is absolutely going to need to be multiple parts. The events are still kind of ongoing. However, I've distanced myself quite a bit from this person. Granted, it's kind of hard when we're in the same friend group. I've never tried to type this whole story out before, so I apologize in advance if things get a little haphazard. Cast list for part 1 is really straightforward. Alright, who do we got? OP! I'll refer to myself as J throughout. Okay, so J. Male to female trans girl with a super messy dating history and people pleaser tendencies. Fresh out of an abusive relationship and not looking for another one. Yeah, no doubt. Sweatbeard. Okay looking guy with the behavior of a neckbeard. I call him Sweatbeard on account of him sweating exponentially more than any human should. I think it's a genuine condition he has, so I don't want to be mean about it. Just keep this detail in mind once we get to the weird touchy stuff. Oh, okay, so spoiler warning, we're gonna get to some weird touchy stuff. Like I said, neckbeards are icky and gross. K, the letter K. Someone I was friends with at the time this story starts. We're not friends anymore and haven't been for a while. He sucks, super manipulative, and later turned out to be a groomer. Oh, gross.
I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser.
Maybe he's just a loser. So me and Sweatbeard are both college age and have known each other for about 10 years at this point. We met at a summer camp when we were in middle school. We instantly hit it off and immediately became best friends. Once the pandemic hit, we didn't really stay in touch beyond the occasional Discord call. Around 3 years ago, we reunited by proxy of a mutual friend of ours. We started hanging out a bunch that summer and everything was great. We were able to catch up on life and it was like no time had passed at all. One day, I was hanging out with Kay one-on-one and I brought up Sweatbeard. Immediately, he hits me with a, "I don't like Sweatbeard. He stalked my friend and was really creepy to her." He didn't elaborate further despite me asking, and I was skeptical.
Allow me to put on my skepticals. Whoop!
I don't know, OP. If your friends are telling you that this guy's not okay, maybe not necessarily believe them entirely, but just keep an eye open for that behavior. It was around this time that I started picking up on Kay's manipulative tendencies, and I just thought this was another trick to control who I hung out with. Oh yeah, okay. So I ignored what would turn out to be a genuine warning. Ah yeah, that makes it tricky. The truth from a liar is not to be believed. If you don't know if you can actually trust a person, and they warn you about someone else, how do you know if they're actually telling the truth or just trying to control you?
Control, you must learn control.
So like I said, just watch for yourself and look for behaviors that are red flags. I actually brought up what Kay said to Sweatbeard, and he laughed it off. Said, "That was just a crush. I wasn't stalking her. I don't know what he's talking about." I took his word and that was that. I actually knew a little about this crush. At least from his POV. Sweatbeard and I were close, and would often talk to each other about crushes and other romantic developments. Granted, a lot of his end just consisted of him complaining, "Oh, I can't get a girlfriend. Why don't women see me as a potential partner? They all end up with other guys. What am I doing wrong?" Stuff like that. Yeah, typical nice guy behavior. Like, "I'm such a nice guy, why don't you like me?" Oh, that sort of thing. Truth be told, Sweatbeard wasn't unattractive. He's no model, but his looks aren't the problem. He was one of those guys who would develop really strong feelings for every single woman he interacts with, to a degree that was genuinely unbelievable. Like, he'd fall head over heels for a girl who said hi to him more than once, and he'd be upset when it inevitably doesn't work out. Yeah, the guy that's so starved for attention that anyone who looks at him or smiles at him, he thinks is automatically in love with him because he just never receives affection from anyone else. I would soon find out what it's like to be on the receiving end of this behavior. See, up till the summer we first started hanging out again, we'd been friends in the context of two guys being friends. He's very straight and insists upon that often, so he was never really creepy to me. Towards the end of that summer, when I started figuring myself out, I began presenting as a woman. All things considered, Sweatbeard was an A-tier ally. He didn't always understand and would sometimes get things wrong, but he tried his genuine best, and that really meant the world to me. He had been such a good friend to me in the early stages of my transition, helping me through one of the roughest patches of my life, rough time coming out to family, and also fresh out of an abusive relationship. Really bad time overall. Yeah, I'm sorry, OP. Having a family that's understanding and supportive makes life in general a lot easier, and I can't imagine what it's like having to come out with something like this to a family who you feel like isn't supportive of you or your needs. So I'm sorry you had to go through that, and I'm hoping that you're doing better now and you're surrounded by people who love you and support you and want the best for you. At this point, he didn't feel awkward or flustered talking to me like he did with other women. It's because you were a bro first. I went off to my first year of uni, and during this time I started hormone treatments. My body changed a lot. So much so that the first time he saw me next summer, a year later, he genuinely couldn't believe what he was seeing. Try and imagine this man's surprise upon seeing that now I have an hourglass figure, grew boobs, relatively big ones, got softer skin, no facial hair, my ass grew substantially, and my voice had jumped up about 1 to 2 octaves. Whew, that's a change. Yeah, holy jumping, you're like a whole different person now. Which I imagine is the point. So, good for you, OP. When I tell you that this completely shifted how he looked at me, I mean it was completely night and day different. Oh, is he gonna start creeping on you now? We started hanging out regularly again, but I began to notice some subtle differences in how he behaved around me. He would always make it a point to sit next to me, and much closer than usual, even occasionally resting his head on my shoulder or hugging me unprompted. Keep your hands off me, bro. Like,
Don't touch me!
he also seemed much more keen on one-on-one hangouts instead of a group setting. He would bring up / joke about being single noticeably more often around me. I had considered all of these things totally normal because, as established, we were really close friends. Yeah, but now he's trying to be really close friends. Over time, his behavior became a lot less subtle and started to make me a little uncomfortable. He'd stare unwaveringly either at my boobs or into my soul. I don't know which is worse. To look over at someone and just have them like staring you like... I don't have boobs, so I don't know what that's like. I can imagine neither feels very comfortable. It's probably pretty creepy, yeah, no doubt. He'd be really insistent that I go upstairs before him and would always position himself so he was eye level with my ass. Classy. That's how you do it. He's just framing it like he's being a gentleman. Oh, after you, milady. Friggin' oogling her the whole way up the stairs. Get a life, bro. Come on. Behaviors like this that made me uncomfortable, but I was still not able to bring myself to do anything about. No, stand up for yourself, OP. Tell him to stop being creepy. Like, bro, stop looking at my ass. Stop going upstairs behind me and whipping your phone out, you friggin' weirdo.
Stop it. Get some help.
We began spending a lot more time together, hanging out one-on-one. Dude, if he's creeping you out, why are you hanging out with him? Well, I use the term hangout very loosely, as it mostly consisted of Sweatbeard complaining about his life. Particularly, he'd complain about his parents, troubles with women, and financial problems. Oh yeah, that's how you turn on a woman, right? Complain about the other women in your life and how you have no money. That's a panty dropper right there. Good job, bud.
Not a great plan.
Who the heck is trying to call me? Someone just tried to call me on this phone, which doesn't have a SIM card in it. It's a brick. How did they do that? Fucking ghost phone. I'll give him one of those three things. His parents do kind of suck. But we also know how he acts around women, and him claiming to be poor is pretty disingenuous. Yeah, his women troubles make sense because he's a douchebag, and him being poor just isn't true. What, his parents have money? I would normally empathize with someone struggling with money. I come from a lower middle working class family myself, but it's just really ironic hearing him complain about him being poor as we sit on his bed surrounded by more comic books, toys, action figures, and Marvel merchandise than I even knew existed. Yeah, that's why he's poor. He's spending all his money on nerd merch. Like, maybe if you're struggling with your finances, you don't need that replica of the friggin' Infinity Gauntlet with all 6 gemstones in it. Don't waste your money on shit like that, man, if you can't afford it. He even told me himself, I own every single Skylanders figure, even the rare ones. OP says, wow, that probably cost a ton of money. Oh yeah, it was worth it though. Was it though? Like, can you afford your rent? No, but you got a little Spyro figurine, so that makes it all worth it, right? I don't know. Nothing against people who collect Skylanders OFC, but it just pisses me off when people complain about being in a shitty financial situation while also being this insanely financially irresponsible. Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're having trouble paying rent or bills and you're gonna complain to all your friends how you can't afford anything, but then you go out and you buy, like, I don't know, hundreds of dollars worth of Magic the Gathering cards or every single video game that ever gets released. It's hard to have pity on people that are spending all their money on frivolous shit and then complaining about not being able to pay their bills. The economy sucks for everyone, it's true, but sometimes you gotta be a little more fiscally responsible. I'm not saying never buy yourself something nice, but there's a limit and a level of responsibility that you have to maintain about it. He spent a lot of time complaining whenever we hung out, which was a lot. Yeah, it's not fun to hang out with people who just bitch all the time. Excuse me. He lives about 30 minutes away, and the only reason I spent as much time as I did with him is because he did seem to be genuinely struggling mentally, and I wanted to be there for my friend. That's very good of you, OP. Especially because he was there for me in the past. As we hung out, he began hitting me with some weird questions and sentences. I noticed that he'd drop really not subtle hints that he's developed feelings for me. Of course he has. You've developed, so his feelings have developed. My favorite one was, my sister thinks we're dating. We totally should. I think we'd be a cute couple. Ha 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 ha, just kidding. Anyway. A not so funny one that genuinely put me off was when he brought up the topic of my transness in conversation. It was fine until at one point he just dropped his smile, fully serious, and looks into my eyes. Jay, you are gonna get surgery, right? He says, yeah, I plan to. Why? I just want to be sure. Like, dude, that's fucking creepy. Like,
Buddy, you're weird.
I've got to make sure it's the right hole for me because I'm totally straight. So I just got to make sure that it's the right hole for me. Like, dude, that's none of your business, man. Like, if OP is gonna get surgery, they'll get it when they're ready. It's none of your business when it's happening. Just hang out with your friend and be their friend. Don't ask personal shit like this. It's fucking gross, man. Bruh, make sure of what? Question mark. Yeah, exactly. From that point on, the writing on the wall was obvious. Yeah, you're a girl now, so he likes you now. It had gotten to a point where he just started holding my hand without asking. Dude, break his wrist. Like, fuck off, don't touch me. He'd do this while complaining and would always say, sorry, physical touch really helps me calm down. Like, use your words, dude, don't just grab my hand. Yeah, that's some Pedro Pascal creepy level shit, like, oh, I just need to constantly be touching my female co-stars because I have anxiety. Let me see your nails, girl. I have anxiety. Touch me. I don't mind him as an actor. He's a fine actor, but he just comes off as really performative and creepy in all of his interviews. One day he calls me. Hey Jay, are you free today? No, but I'm free this weekend. Why? What's up? Oh, nothing. I just have a really important piece of lore I need to tell you, like ASAP. I can talk on the phone for now. What's going on? No. This has to be in person. I'll see you this weekend. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, indeed, OP. Like, no one tells you anything good in person. We make plans and he comes to my house on Saturday. Up till this point, he'd been texting me incessantly, talking about how this was eating away at him and he needed to tell me. We all know where this is going. Yes, we do, OP. He gets here and, as expected, he professes his love to me. What I did not expect, however, was for him to follow it up by saying that his feelings for me were the strongest he's ever had for anyone. The guy who catches feelings for every woman he ever interacts with, for some reason, picks me as his most intense crush yet. Yeah, okay. You know what they say, like, you should be friends first before you become lovers, right? I could tell from his eyes that he was serious. And it pretty much turned into him begging me to say yes. Oh, that's another thing that women find super attractive. Begging. Neediness. Even though I saw this coming from a mile away, I was still caught off guard. This is where I admittedly kind of fucked up. Uh-oh, what did you do, OP? Did you say yes? Don't fucking tell me you said yes, OP. What I said was, oh yeah, sorry, I'm not really looking for anything right now. I'm still healing from my abusive relationship and wouldn't want to even have that conversation until I'm better. Okay, good, OP. Tell him to fuck off. He heard this and admittedly took it pretty well in the moment. Okay? We agreed that we'd stay friends and not let this ruin our dynamic. Alright. I would later find out that of everything I said in my rejection, all he heard was, well, it's not a no. And then of course he would go on to ruin our dynamic. Yeah. You gotta just tell him no. Like, I know you want to let them down kindly and not hurt their feelings. And I'm not saying be rude.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
You just need to be blunt. Just no thank you. I am not interested. Because, yeah, if any wishy-washy, oh, well, it's just not a good time for me right now. They'll just take that as a, oh, maybe in the future and not a no forever. So, yeah, you just have to say no forever. And hopefully, he takes it as a no. Not that neckbeards have a history of doing that. And they can't pull this bullshit of like, oh, you never actually said no. No, say no. And then when they try shit in the future, then you can at least tell them you said no. After this point, his behavior towards me shifted from being creepy and uncomfortable to downright gross. Uh-oh. But I've been talking for a while, so I'm gonna end part 1 here and leave you guys on a bit of a cliffhanger. Damn you, OP! Stay tuned for Sweatbeard part 2, where I'll talk about his descent into complete depravity and creepiness. I'll try and have that out soon. Take care. Alright, thank you, OP. What was your name? Material Jellyfish 42. Okay. That was Sweatbeard part 1. I'm gonna come back to this. I'm gonna cover parts 2 and 3 and see if there's ever a 4 or a 5 or a 6, whatever, how many times OP decides to regale us with her tales of Sweatbeard. This one was kind of fun, a little cringe, but not too bad. So I guess spoiler or disclaimer warning for part 2. Seems like it's gonna get a little more intense. But until then, that's all for now. I had fun reading this for you guys tonight. I hope you come back to hear parts 2 and 3. If you guys like pirates, check out my Cool Pirates That I Like series, or my mythology shorts if you're into mythology. But that's going to be all for me and for Bartholomew. I hope you guys have a good night. Go drink some water, go do some push-ups, like, subscribe, and stay safe till next time.